Hello everyone, thank you for joining. Today I'm going to explain about Azure function, how Azure function would connect to PostgreSQL via managed identity. So authentication or connectivity would be done via managed identity. So let me start. There are three things: PostgreSQL, second is Azure function, and third one is managed identity. So here is my Azure portal. On Azure portal you can see this is my Postgres server. So here you can see this is PostgresSQL and server, and on that you can see database. So I have one database, default database. This is called Postgres, and what I did, this is here this AD authentication is enabled, and I added one user here, admin user also. Now I can show you, let me open the another instance where I can show you this Azure function. So let me open the Azure function which I created. So this one is my Azure function. Let me open it. Yes, this is my Azure function. So here I'll be doing deployment on this Azure function, and also there is one more component is manage identity. So Azure function would be connecting with manage identity via manage identity with PostgreSQL. So this is my manage identity. So this is one of the user defined manage identity which I created. Its client ID is this, which will be used into Azure function code. So let me start. Here I open this, I connected this PostgreSQL with the PG admin. This is my PG admin. Here you can see, you can expand and then go to schema and then go to table. So what I have one table which I created for you, employee, and in this table you can see two record. Select query, let us see. So here you can see select query of employee table. It is coming. Okay, taking time. Let me open it again. Select script. Oh, sorry, it is not there. So it is here. When I run it, we can see it is run. You can see these two records are there. So what I will do, I'll get this data from Azure function, and that function runtime would be node. So I'll write code in node and will connect this Azure function to PostgreSQL via manage identity which I mentioned. So here this is my node application, if you can see. So let me show you how I'm going to connect. Here what I did, basically I created one function, get data. Okay, it can be get employee, but here what I did, I created one post method. Okay, and this is one index file inside that, this function. So what I did, basically I created this function. Okay, what is get data PSQL. Okay, so this will bring the data from employee table, and I'm passing this employee table, and it will get the data from employee table. And important thing is how it is going to connect. So it would connect via manage identity. So what I did, and before that I'm calling this function get mi configuration, get manage identity configuration. So here I also created one additional function, get manage identity configuration. So what is that? Basically here this is client ID of my user defined manage identity. If you see in portal, let me verify again on the portal with you. Okay, this is my manage identity. So here what I did, I copy this client ID and I updated here in this. So this is basically one you can say default credential is one namespace or library which I exported from here at Azure oblique identity. Okay, so this is what I installed in npm, and then I'm using this default credential, and this default I'm using this with user defined managed identity. So I mentioned the client ID of user defined managed identity, and then next what I'm doing, I'm passing this scope, and that is specific for PostgreSQL only. Okay, so this will add the scope here, this variable which I'm getting the token. So this one is credential, and this credential is being used here to get token, where I'm passing this scope of which will taking care for AD scope, and will get the token from AD. So what, for getting this token response, I did this all thing here, right? This is general common code, and then here I'm passing this manage identity, guys, user defined manage identity, which I added on PostgreSQL as a AD user. If you see here, let me show you on portal, this is my PostgreSQL. So what I did, I added here Azure AD admin as a this. What is this? This is my manage identity, user defined manage identity. Okay, and then I'm passing the database name. This is my database name, and this is giving me a token, AD token. Okay, authentication token, and this is my server name, and this is something you need to add. It's part of host name. So this is my host name, and then I'm passing this here. So this is all about my function. And what I'm doing, if we want to navigate here, then I'm just writing there some select query. If you go to implementation, then here get data, and get data I'm passing this creating the manager, and then you can say go to implementation. Here this is the simple select query from the employee table. Okay, here you can see, and this is all pool executing and returning it. So that is all. So let me deploy this function on Azure. Okay, so this function, you can run this function in terminal. Let us run it. So what is function name? Get data PSQL. Okay, so let me run it. Let me clear all these terminal. Wait, open. Okay, all is clear. I just open the fresh terminal, and then you can see here I'm running this code and this function. Then let us see it, whether it is working or not. Okay, so yes, so this is Azure function, guys, and it is saying, look at get PSQL, get data PSQL. Okay, so this is my function which is now up and running. Here also it is working, it means it is working here. Okay, now what I need to do, basically, now I need to deploy this on Azure. So what I did on Azure, as I mentioned earlier, I created one function. Which function? This function. Okay, I created this function POC dev. So I'm going to deploy my code on that function. So what is the way? Here I install the extension Azure, and when you click here, then it will connect with my subscription, and here in subscription, when I expand this Azure function app, then I can see my function here. Okay, so from directly you can deploy it, click and deploy. Okay, so it is about to start, deployment is about to start. Yes, so it's asking, then I would say yes, I need to deploy. Then you can see here it is saying running pre-deployment task npm prone and function. Okay, so it is starting now. All right, So installation is going on. So what it will do, it will apply my code on Azure portal on the instance of function POC dev. Okay, so it may take few seconds to get complete. Okay, it's almost done now. Yes, let us see. Okay, still running. All right, so you can see it's processing all those things and deploying, doing the deployment. And this is function, very simple, getting data from employee table which is in Postgre via manage identity by passing this configuration, manage identity, and then this and token, getting token is important. Okay, and then host name, port you can mention, default port I mentioned. Alright, SSL I made it false for time being. Okay, SSL certificate validation. So look at here. Now what it is saying, deployment to function POC dev completed. Now you can go there and see on portal. So let us go to portal. Here, this is my portal. Here I can refresh it. Okay, right. Then this is overview tab, guys. And here in manage identity, you can see that identity which I created, which is also added here in this function mi. So that I added manually. It is not added by a code. So how I added, when I click here add, then you can see, let me remove and then show you again. Okay, it's removing and then I'll add in your presence. However, I included this in my previous video, how to add manage identity. So this is the identity which I created and through which I'm making this connection. Okay, this is, look at same my identity, manage identity, you can copy from here. All right, as a user, why? Because I also added this as a AD in PSQL. Now go to here and click on add and then look at that manage identity. You need to select and click add. So now what we did, PSQL we connected through manage identity. We also added that manage identity with this function app. Now click on overview. When you click on overview, then you can see your function trigger point here, method name HTTP. So this is HTTP and click on get data SQL. Okay, Psql. All right, then it is loading and then we'll be running and we'll be getting the data which are in table. So what data we have in table? We have the two record. I'm getting one data. If you see in the function definition, what I'm doing, I'm only taking the name of first row 0. I'm executing this. So this is getting executed. Employee taking all record, all both table, and then I'm taking the name of the first row here, and then I'm appending into the body of my this function. Okay, so we can see at runtime. Go to again portal, guys. Here you can click run, test and run, and my method was post. I'm not passing any key, nothing. It is whatever is coming default. Even in body also I'm not considering anything. Okay, all right, here I can say nothing. This is not needed here because post method, but however it is get, but it's okay. So main purpose, let us see outcome of this. So when I click on run, it is running, processing. Look at this, has run successfully. Look at here, this is your log, and here you can see 200 successful and employee name Amit Sharma. So where is Amit Sharma in PSQL? Here, look at first row, this is Amit Sharma. I am taking first row, printing first row only. So what we can see this this is connected. My function app is connected with PostgreSQL. It is getting data from PostgreSQL through managed identity, that is user defined managed identity. So that is all as part of this video. Let me summarize once again what I did. I created Azure function, and then I created managed identity. I would say first step is I created managed identity, that is user defined managed identity. I added that user defined managed identity with Azure function. Okay, and then I created PSQL server, and on that PSQL server also I added this managed identity as a AD role. Okay, and then I have written code for this Azure function, which is here in VS Code. This is my function which I written this code here in function, you can see. And then this here I am connecting, I'm passing this manage identity configuration, and then connecting, calling this get data, which is connecting to PSQL, and this get this through which this configuration by a manage identity. I'm passing this manage identity. So these are the important thing. In place of connection string, you can use this configuration. This configuration will work as a connection string. So what are the benefit? Benefit is we are not retaining any user and password. So here we are avoiding to mention user ID and password. User is here also as a managed identity, that is also AD user, you can say, or service principal which we are using. But important thing is we are not retaining the password, so no need to retain the password, no need to renew the password. So, and security perspective, it is good, no one can steal your password also. So these all are the benefit using this. Now yes, so that is all part of this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in next video.